Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Spy Party Competitively Cast. This is the first week of the Tournament of Position, a crazy tournament that I don't entirely understand the rules of, but it's a lot of interleague play. It's going to end with a lot of positions swapping around, I presume. Maybe my casters, Pwn Noob and Dells, can help me out.
Hey, Pony
Could.
up here.
Hello.
How y'all doing?
Pretty
It's
good.
it's good. Saturday morning.
Yeah. That it is, at least for us. I don't know, Dells. What are you on? Are you West Coast as well? Is this the?
No, I'm East Coast. It's
All right,
afternoon.
not bad then. I was gonna say this is the West Coast U.S. presents the EU SCL cast, but you know we got the East in there too. All right, so let's just dive right in. We're gonna get a match between Wodar in Gold Division and Tabsies in Challenger. So this should be interesting.
Yeah, and so the way the tournament of position works is that for most divisions, it's the people who placed first, second, or third who get a chance to rise up to the top. But in this case, top means gold. Gold is the highest you can get in the tournament of position, and the players who are entered from gold into the tournament of position are the players who placed in the middle of the division. So Wodar placed fourth in gold, and is therefore going up against Tabsies, who placed second in Challenger, and that's out of a really, really big field of, I
Yes.
believe, 15 people.
Yes. So clearly, Wodar is not going to have it easy here, probably. Anyway.
No,
It
I mean,
turned.
we just saw a match the other day between the first place challenger, Jake, against Turnout 8 from Gold, and it was a very, very, very close match, despite the difference in divisions.
Yep. All right. Anyway, let's get into picks and bans here. Wodar has the first ban, and he opted to ban Ballroom. Interestingly, Wodar is normally a player to choose nothing to ban.
He's taking it seriously.
Yeah. This is
That's
this
nice.
is this is for real.
Yeah, Thabsies has two maps that they are really, really good at, and that's Library and Ballroom.
And then, of course, Wodar has Balcony, which you won't have for this, because Tabsies banned it right away.
Thabsies has stated that they're not comfortable with Balcony, so it's just a no-brainer.
Yep. So Wodar being Wodar and, picking the best map you possibly can, Courtyard.
He's picked it, I think, every single game this season. So
Yep. That's, it's a good venue. All right, anyway, another good venue, Thabsies, going with Gallery.
Yeah, and that's a bit more of an uncommon pick. I mean, Thabsies almost always just picks Ballroom and Library and almost nothing else throughout the season.
Yeah, well, of course, Ballroom was taken away by Wodar. Must have been a very targeted ban. The next pick out of Wodar, Tayen.
his other common pick. He's been taking Tayan since it came out.
Maybe the closest you can get to a balcony.
They're very different, but
They are different, but they got this.
They do have a large spy.
They got a very similar swinginess to it, I'd say, or very
Exactly.
Yeah. And then the second pick out of Thabsies, Library.
Yeah, I'm only surprised it wasn't the double pick. Thabsies is very comfortable here and usually has a lot of strategies up his sleeve about how to do cheesy strategies on it.
All right. The final pick from Wodar, Pub.
I mean, that's the surprising one because we had no idea what Wodar was going to pick. Wodar just consistently picks Tayen, Balcony, and Courtyard.
Yeah, well, the thing is, with when you get into the 3-pick territory, you're more or less. It's more or less like what map do I want to avoid, or what which venues don't I want to play? Is what
it could be a counter pick. Thabsies has very low stats on pub compared to almost every other venue. In fact, it's the only map where Thabsies has stats, below 50%, below 40% win rates as both roles.
Yep. All right, and then the final venue pick from Tabsies shall be Aquarium.
Yeah, that also fits into Tabsies' general spy strategy. They like doing cheesy strategies, so we can expect
Don't
if
we
we get
all?
there to see some stuff behind the shark. Or not see stuff behind the shark, rather.
Should be interesting. All right, I'm just about there. Let me transition into the game and get the scoreboard going here. All right, I am ready. Actually, I gotta figure out what divisions these guys are. We got gold and challenger. Whoops. All right, and actually, I technically got the wrong scoreboard up, but here, let me fix that real quick.
And so just to confirm, the first match that I have is Wodar as Salmon on Courtyard. Is that correct?
Correct.
Yep, I have that as well.
And with that, welcome to our official tournament of placing cast. Wodar versus Tabsies.
I am
Game
good.
1 on Courtyard. Cletus is good. Dels, you sound good?
Mm-hmm.
Let's get this started in 3, 2, 1, playing it. So this has been Wodar's general pick. He also has been picking Taeyen mainly because Balcony gets banned in gold, and Tabsies followed through with that. And it's a pick that he's very comfortable with on both the spy and the sniper. He's got going on 10,000 games.
And yet he's already highlit, presumably because the ambassador walked right behind him. He didn't take the opportunity for a drive-by bug, but he may have been highlit because Tabsies wasn't watching it closely enough and knows that he could have done it.
Banana bread goes off. There's only 3 people who could have had a real banana bread, but there's nobody outside of conversation. It just incriminates us more if you think we've already done a bug, because we were in a conversation with an ambassador and a double agent. We weren't flirting in any sense.
Oh, but now we're aggressively flirting. So we were the first to leave conversation after the banana bread, which is a very spy-like thing to do, to go over to our seduction target. The seduction target left, and we immediately left and chased them over and started instantly talking. That's something that some snipers can definitely catch you on.
Yeah, with Tabsies, he's been an absolute sponge. You'll see it a lot on the spy side where he just picks up these fantastic plays that even wily veterans have never done before. And on the sniper side, the things that he's able to catch versus the things that he lets through might be a bit sporadic. There's some things that he's very knowledgeable about and some things that he just hasn't seen before because he's new.
And so here we are entering right next to the ambassador again. We have a drink in our hand, which had a fingerprint on it, by the way. We were in the other conversation. We weren't even near the ambassador when we got that drink print, so it's possible that Tabsies isn't aware we have it. We got right next to the ambassador to shove him out so that we can pick up the briefcase. It's a very, very aggressive gameplay, and that might not be the best if you're already credited with a bug, but so far it is working.
Yeah, so in theory, if we already had the bug, this would actually be our last mission, and Tabsies would be required to shoot. It doesn't look like the shot's coming off. Inspect is by far the most obvious thing, that we do have a bug opportunity if we want it. We do not.
Yeah, and that's just what makes the early bug opportunity so unfortunate to get highlight for if you didn't take it, because it's just been a lot easier to track, at least getting the briefcase. Now you're at statues. If Tabsies doesn't know about the difficult drink print, or not the difficult print, the drink print, the easy one, he doesn't necessarily have a reason to shoot here, and it doesn't look like it's happening unless Tabsies is just considering it. The laser moves over, and Tabsies actually does take the shot.
Yeah, so with the shot going off, we knew Tabsies was on him, and he had Wodar on his camera like the whole time for this game. Waiting for 2 cycles, waiting to see if the statue gets swapped, and waiting to see if anything else happens while the 10-second timer going down. You don't need to necessarily shoot right as they pick up the statue, and it's just solid play from Tabsies.
Yeah, and apparently the drink print was actually difficult, so Tabsies was just very much on top of that, possibly aided by the early highlight for a potential bug.
Yeah, the 2 flare also did help. It was a really well played game by both players, and Tabsies is the one with the 1 next to his name. Now on orange dress, still on courtyard. In 3, 2, 1, playing it. Bug, bug, no bug. Tabsies showing restraint I would never show.
Yeah, it's either restraint or just not being ready to take the opportunity in time of chaos. But Sari's one of the better characters for it. Oh, now are we going for it? No, but we're walking next to the ambassador again and still not bugging. This could be another scenario where we get a highlight for potentially being able to bug, or at least noticed for it.
We get Tabsies with the camera shake. I think he knows that he's done wrong, neither to take the bug, but to make himself look suspicious. That being said, didn't get highlight. We're getting a nice, good flirt without getting paired with Smallman because we got the green from a fair distance. And Ambassador's going to statues, so there's going to be fingerprints in the future. We have a lot of good options here, and we haven't gotten much suspicion.
Yeah, and the thing with bug paths like that is if you really trust your sniper to be on top of it, then the sniper will look at you and see that you could have bugged and you didn't. And so it can actually lower your suspicion level. And that's sort of a mind game that goes on where you really have to evaluate, how able your sniper is to catch those bugs, if you even want to give yourself some credit like that.
Okay, we've gone with the timer flirt here, 64%. We do have a briefcase right under us for some reason, and it's going to get pinched away by the SDA, unfortunate.
Yeah, we didn't even try for it. But it looks like Tabsies isn't really sure what to do next. Just heading to a window pad. We can go back in and finish the flirt, but that's about 2 minutes into this game now. And, while we've been debating the merits of
Oh,
the bug paths, that's all we have is flirt. And it's at 98% now.
yeah, so we hit one green out of three, and because we started away from the seduction target, which against Wodar is advisable, honestly, we don't have flirt complete. Banana Bread here
Banana
is
bread.
gonna incriminate ourselves and both the twins. And
Yeah, only 3 people with potential real banana bread right now. That's going to make it really hard for Thabsies to win here with only a minute left to get the last flirt and then presumably also go to statues and do another mission. The best option might just be to swap the statue when you're there. And Smallman leaves before we can get the flirt. We're being offered a drink. We might purloin it. We are purloining, and it's a green. I think that makes a lot of sense. With only a minute left, there weren't many options, and you just kind of have to take whatever mission comes up.
a low light takes. We're not gonna have a mission win. We actually need 2 missions. But this does put a lot of pressure on the sniper. Banana Bread's been said. Purloin's gone. You have 2 missions, and anybody who's been to statues and could have completed flirt is a likely shot. It's going to be needing restraint from Wodar and maybe just catching the late hardtail. We don't have enough time to inspect anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I think we could have just gone immediately for the statues. Instead,
We're,
there's a
we're
bug
eyeing down Red
opportunity.
Dress. We're eyeing down Red Dress. We want to see if the swap's going to happen. It's not going to happen. Time ad. Us and Salmon, front and center, both checked our watch.
Wow,
Um,
but we're one of the only ones with the real BB. It was us and the twins, so we have to be a major suspect now. But I don't know what we can do.
there's no apparent reaction from Wodar, but that could just be because low lights aren't worth it. Now we're going to do inspects. Are we going to get shot?
We're not even rotating around to look at Sari being at statues. When Wodar sees her there, he would have to take the shot if he knew that she was one of the potential time adders, but it looks like he wasn't aware of who was at the windows at all during the time ad and doesn't even remember that she's one of the 3 with real BB. No shot comes off, and Thabsies takes the win.
Yeah, and that was a white time ad. This wasn't
Did-
like a green
Did Wodar
time ad
just like
situation.
not know the time ad happened? It's the only thing I could think of. Like, did he just like blank?
Well, here's the thing. When a purloin has gone off, you don't think that the spy is going to be timing out. You assume that they're going to be finishing, so you might not necessarily be expecting the last second
Yeah.
time ad, especially because there were 2 people at statues when that time ad happened, and so Wodar was probably watching them
Yeah.
very closely for swaps.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. Seems like you'd notice a white time ad.
Seems, but Spy Party's a hard game.
I mean,
Yeah, and,
I
and this
mean,
is
yeah,
this
whatever.
is the most tense games that you're gonna see, for especially for Tabsies. He hasn't played anything this intense though. He did play
Yeah.
the tiebreaker against Jake. Wodar's played his finals before, and I think that might be an advantage to him. But as you see here, something like just catching the white time ad that's in your face. When nerves are on the line, you miss things.
Yep. All right.
Wodar
Anyway,
gonna be playing as mom. We get our third courtyard game, and he needs to get a win here at some point if he's going to keep this competitive. We're down 2-0 in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
And
Curving
look at that.
away from the statues there. We do
Yeah.
not want the early highlight. This is something that I've noted previously with Wodar's play. He doesn't want to get the early highlight. If he can avoid it before he gets his hard tell, we get the highlight anyways with the flirt at statues, maybe even just credited for the inspect and didn't really bother to take the low light, even if we do know that they never actually picked up a statue.
Yeah, it's always unfortunate when that happens, but it makes a lot of sense during that early rotation. Tabsies has to be rotating around to make sure he has control over the ambassador, Toby, and all the statues, and so might have just like quickly clicked everyone at statues without actually watching to see if they picked them up or not.
I mean, the highlight, even if it is just for the flirt, is still a very good highlight. It's something that spies have been doing more and more, just flirting at statues like rude boys that they are. We got 34%. We're getting offered a drink here. We reject it.
Yeah, and like you said, Thabsies is sort of a knowledge sponge just from watching a lot of casts and talking to a lot of the experienced players. So he's very well aware of the flirt at statues, and so he's definitely going to be noticing things like
This
that.
banana bread's really strong, by the way. We had a really no low light banana bread previously. The white test isn't
Banana
helping,
bread.
but nobody leaves conversation. Uh, the only concern I have here is that
Whoa! That was a
the
shot
eyes
for
get
bug.
pulled to us because of the white test. There isn't much else to do in reaction to the banana bread, and then the bug comes off. Easy shot for Tabsies because it's right on camera.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it should. I mean, probably because there were. I mean, there were. I think people to low light on the other side,
There were,
possibly.
and it doesn't look like Thabsies really rotated over to
Yeah.
check that other conversation. Tex was at statues on the other
Yeah.
side, but didn't get rotated over to just yet.
Yep. I mean, it's hard to tell in Courtyard 2 where exactly the laser is because there's always a little bit of laser lag. So that could have been part of it, but sometimes you attempt those bugs.
Scoreline is 3-0.
Yeah.
And if you thought this was going to be gold versus challenger, gold easy win, that's not the case.
Yep.
We got Tabsies on Irish. Last game of Courtyard here in 3, 2, 1, playing it. This is going to be a slow start unless we do the time ad. And we do the time ad. Tabsies is a man for my heart.
Yeah, we were not really being watched there. The ambassador and Toby were sort of on opposite ends of the venue, so the sniper's got to be watching that and isn't really going to be watching to see who does a time ad. We go in for the inspects here because the seduction target is there, so it's a 2-for-1 deal.
We may run into a problem here where, yep, seduction target does do 2 cycles. We're not going to actually be able to finish inspects. It does give us some options in the future. It makes swap a bit more reasonable since you already have to go back to statues anyways.
Yeah, I don't think it's that big of a problem on Courtyard because usually you're going to be completing inspects with one visit, and so if someone goes for a second visit, the sniper's not really going to be thinking too much about it.
This
In
is
fact,
cute. We're going back to the same statue.
yeah.
From Wardar's perspective, he might think, oh, this is just a really weird play because why would you go back to the same statue? And really weird plays are often AI-like. Doesn't seem like Wardar's going to bite though. No low light. This is respectful. We are floating from across the conversation here, not giving our option to get a 3 flirt. And this is one of the problems I have with seduction target being twin. It kind of does look like we're
Banana
flirting
bread.
with another twin again.
Yeah.
Banana bread
And
comes
there's the
off. It
banana
could be
bread.
covering a purloin. It's not. It's just covering a sick inno.
I think there can be value to messing with the sniper's
It's
expectations
not
like that.
innocent. It's never innocent. It's a fingerprint. We
Oh.
did not hit the fingerprint though.
I mean, the difficult drink fingerprint worked out really well for Thabsies the first time, but this time without it, or no, it was Wodar who got the difficult print and Thabsies caught it, so never mind that. But
Yeah. This is one of the cheeky plays, and I really do like Tabsy's line of thought here, which is banana bread covering fingerprint and covering a difficult fingerprint. I don't think there's much likelihood that Wodar caught that fingerprint, though we're not really planning on doing fingerprint too late in most games, unless it's really handed to us.
Yeah, if we had gotten that difficult drink print, we would have been in a really good position to get one more, but instead it looks like we're going for potentially a swap. It's our third visit to statues, and like you were saying, that means the sniper might really not think you're the spy. They just think, oh, look at that AI going to the same statue 3 times. What are they
Wodar,
doing?
Wodar rotates away. We do take the swap, but it is green, so the moment of truth will happen in a few seconds.
But
It could be important who gets summoned.
he didn't even look for the white test. We never rotated around to look for it, which suggests that we're really not on Wodar's radar. There's the swap, though, right on screen. Can Wodar remember 7 seconds? Wasn't looking at it? Just shoots Pearls. Has no idea who else was there. God, Pearls looked like she was dancing for a second.
It generally looks like he was watching the fade, and then wasn't confident on the fade, which coming from someone as much of a veteran as Wodar, I know he's had issues with swap in the past, and self-admittingly, but he had a grasp on that.
Like, are we positive that Wodar was actually playing this set?
Oh no, Wodar missing swaps is
Hey.
not surprising. Wodar watching
I mean,
for
maybe.
fade is not surprising. He's I think every courtyard game I've ever played against Wodar, I swap and he shoots me for the fade. That he missed the fade though is concerning.
I don't know if he was looking at it. I mean, if we just go based on the pattern, Irish, a highlight for statues, went back to statues, and he didn't watch to see if she was swapping. And so Pearls, also a highlight for statues, went back, and he might not have been watching her exactly. The angle might have been more to watch the ambassador. So the fade was on screen, but not necessarily what he was looking for. It's also possible that he just didn't remember who was there previously and thought, well, someone's about to win. It's a
Yeah.
If I don't take a shot right now, I lose 100%. If I take the shot on Pearls because maybe I saw the fade wrong, then it's better than 0%.
Yeah, and Pearls was already a highlight. It's not a bad shot in any sense. I'm just kind of surprised that he held the angle to watch the statue swap and then didn't execute. It's
Yep. I think.
it's a Butterfingers play.
Yeah.
Like he had his hands on the ball.
Yep.
And he just didn't catch it.
Yeah, that was a plain Wodar shot. We need a bling. We need bling Wodar to come back.
Don't look now, but Tabsies is up 4-0. We're on to Gallery, which is actually Tabsies' pick. If
Yeah.
he can execute on his own pick, and presumably he likes it, he did double it. This could be a quick set. Wodar as Tex standing outside in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Wodar,
Go ahead.
he takes control immediately to not go to Windows. He has a plan. Please.
Oh, I was just gonna say, considering Tabsies has basically never picked Gallery all season, I'm really curious to see why it is that it got doubled here. I'm wondering if Tabsies has any strategies in mind, but that'll probably only show up when Tabsies is spy, so we'll get to see that soon.
Yeah, with Gallery, there's a couple kind of just like themes that you can do for cheeky play. The sniper's often zoomed in, so if you can do things at the front of the party, that's cool. The conversation gives a lot of cover, like tan light, so you end up seeing like some smallman things or really cheeky people trying to do microfilms behind the conversations. Often though, it's actually just a very straightforward map. There's no like quick way to end the game because you can't do like inspect swap. You have to at least have done one inspect, for example. This is a quick way to end the game. Get fingerprints. All right after the ambassador.
I mean, we were having a really slow start. We spent so much time in that conversation, we weren't even able to get a flirt. So Wodar's probably feeling behind right now. Are we going to chase Rocker? No, we're just going to take the book outside. We might be able to get a contact. The double agent is out there, but the back conversation isn't very full, so it's not going to be the greatest time right now.
Yeah, the double agent here, the SDA is somewhere back there, but with Gallery, it's often just a wave of lowlights. Tabsy's
But
not taking them immediately.
yeah, there's so many lowlights available, and not taking a single one of them, it looks like.
I suspect, and we saw this with the courtyard game, that Tabsies has a bead that Wodar really likes to do banana bread to cover a play. So maybe concerned about banana bread followed up by a bug or followed up by purloin. It's not going to happen. The list is still there, and orange dress didn't bug.
But
But it just means that we don't have a lot of lowlights. It's
we did get away with the microfilm now, and we brought the briefcase back to the ambassador after the banana bread. Looks like that's what it was, covering for, but it doesn't seem to have had a fingerprint on it. But getting away with that microfilm is great, and it suggests to me that Tabsies might have been a bit thrown off by the aftermath of the banana bread, maybe not feeling great about not getting the lowlights, and so just wasn't watching that book return.
This statue is high value. We get the inspect and the fingerprint, and it looks like we might just be going to the other statues. Just end the game now.
But why that statue? This statue makes it look like you could be doing an inspect swap, but if you don't need the swap, I think it's usually better to go to the other one so that you show the sniper, look, I'm definitely not swapping, but Wodar is getting away with it anyway.
Yeah, I mean, if they aren't sure if they're going to be shooting for an inspector swap and they have to like really stare at you, they're not thinking about the should I shoot. They're thinking about is he swapping. It makes you're making a different question than the one they should be asking. Wodar, it's a solid win. It's a flirtless win, by the way.
Well,
Wow.
if you're gonna skip flirt, this is the venue to do it.
Yeah, flirt can be a lot of a runaround on gallery just because the map is so long. Wodar brings back one. We'll need to see if he can do that quite a few more times if he's going to win this set. And we got Irish here standing right next to Damon. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
And now we get to see what sort of strategies Tabsies has in mind. Wow, the seduction target is right there. We could just leave the conversation and go join her, but it looks like instead we're just going to waste a little bit of time here.
Yeah, we look pretty AI-like. There's nobody that we could be flirting with. Wodar's rewarded things like this in the past, though it might not be readily apparent because it's just a lot of things to watch on gallery.
Now we're in a
Ambassador
high
wants to
value
be
position.
bugged.
Yeah.
Toby really wants us to do something.
Are we ignoring Toby? No,
Yeah,
we
we did
rejected.
actually respond, but I think it was a bit later than what is expected from Toby's general affairs with AI.
Yeah, I'm getting the sense that Thabsies wasn't quite sure how to start this game. We're getting a flirt at statues here, or we could if we wanted to, but the ST is pretty far away. Failed flirt, action test red. Could that have been the strategy to make Pearls do a quick statue put down to turn her into a suspect? Or was it just an
She kind
accident?
of already had put the statue down. Hello.
Wow.
No, the strategy is just mind control pearls to come meet you on the smallest pad in the game.
Did
Deal.
suggestions get added in without anybody telling us?
Maybe she's flirting with us. She's already done a book, she's already done a statue, and then she came and flirted with us. I think Pearls might actually be the spy. And it's just a colorblind thing. We can't tell the difference between the red and the green. There's a good reason to low light Pearls. Banana Bread comes off.
Oh.
A lot of highlights in conversation, and this is a theme with Wodar's play throughout the season, is he gets a lot of highlights and not a lot of lowlights. So his parties just become a big light up. It can be a bit hard to read.
Are these highlights just for real BB?
I think he highlight boots for the banana bread with Toby being offering, which is often because either purloin or just because banana bread, especially a white banana bread, makes you not be able to respond to Toby.
And here's the purloin actually happening at the back from a highlight. The tray is visible now with no list on it, but there's no reaction from Wodar. In fact,
He,
taking highlights, changing the lights around there indicates that he hasn't noticed the list is gone yet. Now he
he
notices
has
it.
noticed. So the highlight that he took was on Mom, who did the reject, and then we did the take. He doesn't seem supremely confident. There's no like big wave of lowlights, but you don't need to. You need to be watching these two for like even just watching for animations now. If he does sip correctly, you put Wodar in a real seat of power. I don't want to be overconfident and say that he has this down to 2, but that's the based on the Mom highlight. That's what I feel.
Yeah, it was just a little bit delayed, but it looks like he was making sure to keep a tight eye on the people in the back conversation, like you said. And that is
Mom gets
definitely a good move.
neutral. She's not doing anything, then she took an innocent drink. We talk about sick innocent drink takes.
Banana bread.
Another red test. Are we still trying to flame pearls? Because that looks really weird. She's low lit from the banana bread, buddy.
I don't know what's going on anymore. The first banana bread, I mean, wow, never mind. I don't even know. I'm just very confused by these plays, and I don't know if that second banana bread is going to induce a shot from Wodar because he
I
knows who could have done that purloin, and none of them are doing anything right now.
I think the banana bread also just lacks people. Like both the double agent and the SDAs were out of conversation. It's a bit of misfortune there for Tabsies. I do like the banana bread purloin play. I think you force a lot of shots doing that. It's just Wardar had 10 lowlights, 2 highlights, and there just wasn't enough going on for him to warrant a shot.
All
Good play
right,
on both sides.
here's the play Wodar negated.
Yeah, and
Oh,
I
Just
think
pick Smallman.
we're doing Smallman on gallery.
Yeah.
I haven't even gone to the next
Oh,
game, but I know
God.
what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's Smallman on gallery.
Yep.
Yeah,
There's
that's
only
what we're doing.
yeah. There's only one play you can really identify at second 0 of a match.
Okay, Wodar, Smallman, gallery, 3, 2, 1, playing it.
If I'm being honest, I'm thinking that this Smallman on gallery thing is starting to be overdone. It feels like every single gallery match that we've cast in the past few weeks has had one of the players or both pick Smallman at least once on gallery. I mean, snipers just have to know to look out for it at this point.
It's interesting because Taeyen's the map that you think, okay, Smallman's just silly. But then Taeyen, you have a lot of options. Like, you don't need to necessarily be cheesing on Taeyen, you just do regular behind the back bug things. We got the banana bread coming off. Tabsies needs to get more lowlights than he did last time.
And also potentially highlight for real BB because only that front conversation has it, and those would be some very, very valuable highlights right now.
Tabsies just isn't taking the lowlights. He got a few, and maybe just the ones that he was really concerned about. Some like highlights that he wanted to get lowlit. But it's just not the reaction that we're typically seeing from players who are quality enough to be in this tournament. Hopefully it does have some benefit in the future where if a spy does do banana bread and then tries to purloin, Tabs is hopefully all over it. That's the benefit of not taking your lowlights.
Yeah, and look at
But
that. The flirt already done. Not even a minute and a half in. The ST was right next to us there, and it looks like we were able to get 2
this
flirts
has a
off.
fingerprint. This has a
Nice.
fingerprint, and there's perfect. Ambassador going to another statue. We have a game plan, and it's right in front of us. Wardar's got his camera looking straight at it. It will be a bit forward if he goes there immediately. We
I
do get
wonder
the
if
high
you can
up.
get away with it.
Oh, jeez. Wodar
Wodar's
has
going for it.
no
I mean, here's the
respect.
thing. The sniper is just not going to think that you're done with flirt. I think a lot of snipers would see this, and even if they realize it's a fingerprint inspect chase, they would say, all right, Smallman's a big suspect now. I'm just going to wait and see what he does. You know, if he enters a conversation and talks quickly, I'll shoot him, but that's not going to happen. The flirt was already done.
Don't call it a comeback. We've had a Tabsies 4-0 run and a Wodar 3-0 run here with this spy win. And this is just really lethal. A lot of green flirts and just taking what the party gives you. This is some veteran play.
And again, I think the highlights for Real BB could have really helped Tabsies there if he did them, because then it would have been a lot more apparent that, you know, one of only 4 people with Real BB was doing these statues and fingerprints. But without it, there wasn't necessarily as much of a reason to be sure that Smallman was the spy.
Welcome to General Party. We've seen a lot of General with the few casts that we have done for the tournament placement. He's got a bug that's quite good. And we'll see Tabsies on it this time in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Yeah, Lazy Bear making a good point, by the way, in regards to the last game. He never went to the back conversation to Smallman. If you're just trying to shoot Smallman based on Smallman doing Smallman things, that was just not the thing that happened this last game.
That's a
Quick
good
34.
point.
Tabsies has been pretty cagey about his flirting previously against Wodar, and for good reason. It's the sort of thing that Wodar is very much proficient at catching, these early flirts. But we're 76 and we still have 3 minutes on the clock. And
Nice.
stop talking.
Ooh, can we bug? Can we bug? We tried. It didn't work, though. The ambo went too far away.
Yeah, Ambassador and generally I will take the shortest path to get there, but Ambassador just took a wider path for whatever reason. Probably in respect to Toby.
Still, Tabsies was taking full advantage of that position in conversation. Now we're heading on over to the green bookcase. General is kind of tall. You can't really do the microfilm while hidden, but we are picking up a fingerprint.
And taking the book out, I'm gonna be interested. With this sort of time on the clock, unless you have a real game plan, this is a sort of book that just kind of needs to go into blue. If you're putting it back in green, you're really conceding a lot of time to the sniper.
I think there's a pretty good game plan available here, which is you get another print from the briefcase at some point, and then you can easily flirt and contact with the book in your hand, and then just put it back, after a minute and a half, and hope the sniper doesn't remember where it came from.
I kind of wish we hadn't taken the book out because Ambassador just took a drink. We would have had a good chance to just finish fingerprint. And especially if we're going to do this, if we're putting it back in green, Wodar has many skills and a few weaknesses, and one of his weaknesses is going to be just his memory. It's just not up to the par of the level of sniper that he is otherwise. Um, by putting it like this
Ooh.
isn't a ooh,
Wow, that bug went a lot better than the first one, and I don't know if there's
right
any
as we
major
get
suspicion
highlight, but I
for it.
think the highlight was for just the conversation entry into maybe like some presumed flirting because we are kind of just shoulder inside mom. But we're not talking, and well, I think Wodar might actually just be staring it down. If we don't talk, we might actually get rewarded.
The question is, what are we going to do to finish? Because there's only a minute left now, and we still don't have the contact.
That's nothing.
What was that?
I think that was, yeah, Tabsy's not happy about it. I think he tried to do a briefcase, and then realized he didn't want to do a briefcase, so Messer was a bit close. And then just
Oh,
stopped in the middle of nowhere, and he's not been burnt. We have a game plan. If we do inspect here, Ambassador just left the other statues. We'd actually be repeating exactly what Wodar just did to Tabsies. If
right,
we
but
do
doing it
inspect
with
into
30
fingerprint.
seconds left, that's a bit more difficult to get away with.
Straight in. Oh, seduction target scaring me there, but he has a book. He's not picking up the statue. We are. It's going to be on Wodar. He probably will watch for the swap, but will he notice the fingerprint?
We're not a highlight anymore, actually. The highlight must have come down at some point, and we're not getting shot for it, even though it was another really obvious print statue chase.
Wodar takes the angle that you need to do on gallery to see around General's big body, confirms no swap, and he's missing the game. We threw out the left jab, and it's actually the right upper hook. You got to look out for. It's the fingerprints again. And silent game, by the way.
Yeah, wow. I think we're just really seeing the importance of messing with the sniper's expectations. There's 3 missions that can be done at statues if it has a print on it. And so if the sniper doesn't realize exactly which one you're doing, they just won't take the shot.
Yeah, a reminder. So Wodar kind of has a free game as the higher seed. The way it's going to be reported is if an 8-8 tie occurs, Wodar is the winner as the higher seed. So Tabsies being up 5-3 is a lead, but it's not as much of a lead as it implies. We got Wodar on his pick, which is Tayan, and we're playing his twin in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Bit of bad luck here. The shoji on the statue side are not blocked, and they're both on the same side. You kind of want a messy left-right situation, or right-left, if you're gonna get what you want on Tan Sniper.
Yeah, I've always said that the strength of the shoji for the spy, it's not that they're blocking the statues or bookcases, it's that they're blocking the conversation. Because if you have the shoji on opposite sides, the conversation circles get really sandwiched in and it can be hard to see. But with 2 on one side, it's just really open and it's a lot easier to see who's doing what in conversation, where Toby is at, and also who could be bugging.
Wardar with a KG opening. Okay.
Oh, that arm was right on screen! It didn't even take!
I was gonna say, we didn't take the early purloin. We didn't take the first pass of the ambassador. We do take the second one, and the second one was just worse. Tabsies had a good opportunity to catch that, and clearly hasn't.
There are some snipers who just sort of give up on the bug a little bit on Taeyen. They feel like if they devote attention to it, and it requires what,
And the
3 or 4 times as much attention as usual, then they'll miss other things. There's the banana bread coming off.
We look quite spy-like if it's something you care to take. We're talking in the back conversation. There's only one double agent in there with us, and we're kind of just front and center on the sniper's camera. Um, I'm kind of surprised we're not eating the
Bug?
highlight. That's another missed bug.
I would have thought that one would have taken. The Amba
He
took a really
he was
good
just a
path.
he was just a bit late on the trigger. The path was really good. I mean, it's a bug that he should have gotten. But it's just these small mechanical micro plays that are letting Wodar down in this Taeyon game.
That's really unfortunate. And again, we're seeing the strength of real BB highlights. On Taeyen, you don't really always expect it because there's only 2 conversation circles, and the SDA is usually going to be in conversation. So the sniper might not always be ready for it, but it can be really, really strong to highlight the conversation with a real BB here, especially because I think a lot of spies don't bother too much with the fake on Taeyen.
Faking on Taeyon is not something that would be the first thing that comes to mind for I want to make a play. There's a lot of plays to make. We tried the timer flirt and Wheels bails on us. We're gonna need a game plan if we're gonna be finishing. Meeting him at bookcase is definitely one of those.
Still just a minute left now. Can we complete this flirt? Yes, and Wheels gets shot. Okay, that works.
Wheels has been very suspicious, and it's kind of one of the reasons why we had trouble flirting. Is he actually did do middle statues? He was in conversation for the double agent. He was standing next to us, though we were flirting with him. Could have been the other way around, and that's actually his second fingerprint. That bookcase, we picked up the fingerprintable book, and we were planning on fingerprinting it, but Wheels beat us there. He actually had the hard fingerprint, or the easy fingerprint, the good fingerprint.
It sounds like that shot made a lot of sense. And, Taeyen is hard. It's a very, very justified shot, especially when the spy themselves hasn't really been doing anything. It sounds like there just wasn't anyone more suspicious than Wheels, so it's
Oh,
very understandable.
that shot was, yeah, if you're watching it from the sniper side, that's a shot that's really hard not to take, and if you're not taking it, you must know something we don't. In regards to like maybe Wheels did a weird path that was AI like, because he did complete missions. We got some orange dress, which is a good choice for Tan, and we'll get this started in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, Orange Dress will make it easier than ever to ensure that you can get the bug. It's just a lot easier to get the walking bug with her slow walking speed, and it's not a drawback. On the larger maps, you don't
And in the bread.
necessarily want to be playing Orange Dress.
Cheese,
Whoa!
no cheese. We do the early banana bread, but we don't take the purloin. To note, Queen's in the middle of conversation for no good reason. And we eat the highlight. That's rough. I think
Hmm.
Wodar's. I think we might have noticed this earlier. Wodar doesn't like the banana breads while being offered a drink, especially when it's white. Okay, now we're getting
Yeah,
neutral
I
light.
think Eel also got highlight for being someone who was talking in the front conversations, so Wodar might just value highlighting the people who are talking. And I do think that's something that snipers could do more of. I don't see it a lot, but statistically, it is going to be a white test more often than not. So
For
if you,
most players,
yeah,
there's some that come to mind, cough, yeesh, cough, who do have like that over 50%, and it's just like, this is no fun. Why can't I just shoot you for talking? The Wodar shot, if you will. This is a pretty straightforward game. We done banana bread. We got one flirt. We're timer flirting. Uh, no real plays have been offered to us, and we haven't went and made one of our own.
there's
Here
the
we
bug
go.
opportunity. There's the play you were talking about, and we took it. And I don't think that arm was visible at all from the sniper side. It's not like we were even setting up for it particularly. There should be no major suspicion on Tabsies for that bug.
Yeah, on the spy side, like Tabsies wasn't even like keeping an eye on the ambassador, like preparing it. He just clicked the button and it worked. Really quick reactions, and when Wodar missed the bug earlier, it's Tabsies making the small micro play that hopefully gets paid off. The issue we have right now is we need to finish Flirt, and time's running out. We're 80 seconds left.
Yeah, the flirt could actually be a problem. I mean, this shouldn't be a hard win when you've gotten the bug like that. Hopefully we get a green test here on the flirt. The Amba enters right next to us. That's not what we want. But we do hit the green flirt.
We do also have some intrigue. Rocker going to middle statues. It's still tan. A shot could come off, which only just makes Tabsies' chances of winning even higher.
I think what you could do is go do the center inspects right after Rocker was there, and it's sort of another case of misleading the sniper because they see it and they think, oh, did Rocker do a green swap? And then they don't realize that, you're the spy getting the inspects, and then you can
And
just
now
go
Mom
flirt
going to
for the
middle
win.
statues. These inspects late for middle statues are really hard. The one thing it is preventing us from doing as a spy is it means that we can't do these statues because they're already occupied. It actually, have we just opted into doing a purloin here because of the situation? We don't want to do middle statues. Flirt's done. If we white test this, we don't. We green test it.
Now it's going to be pending,
Rocker,
but
who I mentioned, is being offered to.
I would go to a
He rejects
statue right
too.
now so that it looks like the clock hanging could be from a swap or could be from a purloin, and the sniper doesn't know which.
It might not be necessary. Rocker being part of the reject chain. Yeah, Wodar notices it, but he's got the wrong suspect. I think the green there was absolutely huge on the purloin, and it's a big risk for Tabsies to take, and risks aren't inherently bad. This one's
Uh,
game winning.
and with that, we have finished Tayend. Thabsies has still held on to the lead, but not by as much as it
Yeah,
was
so
at.
Wodar needs 4 games, Tabsies needs 3 games. So it is Tabsies' lead, more or less by 1 game. And we got Twin on Library. This is a Tabsies pick. And 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, Thabsies has a huge level of comfort with library and might have the advantage here. I wouldn't be horribly surprised to see Thabsies get 2 wins here. I don't think this is the map that Wodar's has the best chance of catching up on.
Yeah, when we're talking about Wardar's play, we do have to remember that he does have a lot of games. And a lot of high-level games. I mean, his most played opponents are probably Canadian Bacon and KCM casually. Like, it's, he plays with good company when he does play. Because those are diamond players. 34% flirt. Wodar doing the sort of flirts that Wodar might punish, but Wodar is not the sniper. It's still Tabsies. 77%. And Banana Bread. Green is quite powerful. Into a split.
Nice.
We get the laser over us. No actual highlight lowlight. Um, but Wodar might think that he got lowlit or might think he got highlight from the split. It's always hard to tell. It's actually neither, which I think is probably the most surprising thing.
And now we've taken out the book. I wonder if we're going to go for a microfilm. Microfilm is actually one of Wodar's least completed missions. Even on library, he doesn't do it very much. And I feel like microfilm is something that Thabsies probably watches for a lot because Thabsies loves doing book cheese on library and trying to get away with putting
Oh,
books away.
Wodar, you cheeky
Oh
boy.
wow. This is what Thabsies can catch because it's the exact kind of strategies that Thabsies likes to do. That's exactly what I was just saying. Wow.
Sorry, Caster's Curse. Sorry, Wodar. We didn't mean to.
I meant to. It was a correct prediction. I was just saying that Thabsies likes book cheese stuff and might be on the lookout for it. It's I don't know. I feel
Okay.
like Caster's Curse is when you speculate about something that you're not really sure about. But here it's just, that's just how these players work. Wodar is not necessarily comfortable with doing microfilms, and Thabsies is very comfortable with watching for them. So I'm not surprised to see that game go that way.
Okay. Thapsy's here, also on Twin. And got a nice little lead here going. I think as a challenger player against Gold 4, any lead you'll take it. And he just needs 2 more to finish it. In 3, 2, 1, playing it. That's a nice bust. Doesn't have much for it, but now it does.
Wow! Tabsies mind control. I think if anyone has access to suggestions early, it would be Tabsies.
Yeah, that's a second time our seduction targets just come up to us on just a small pad. We did it on gallery too. 30 seconds in. Seduction targets actually, I mean, it's small man and he's doing fingerprints. It's not really a bad thing per se, because it just means small man's more liable to get shot. But it does mean that we're not getting our second flirt, which we've been doing quite a bit. The first 2 things being flirt. I mean,
It
yeah,
can
small
feel
man not doing middle
really...
statues. Ugh, he's gonna get shot. Like,
Yep.
small man's just gonna get shot, and we're never gonna be able to finish flirt because he's just gonna continue doing suspicious things.
Well, if Tabsies was doing a red flirt strategy on gallery, now's the time to bring it back. I think you can get Smallman shot here. Heck, just go swap the statue for him right now.
Nah, we're choosing not to flirt here, which is honestly surprising. It's a big sign of respect to the sniper to not take that flirt.
Yeah, the problem is it's been over a minute now since that first flirt, and we don't have anything else done. It probably felt really good to have Smallman come to us at that bust pad, but we can't let that make us forget that there is still 4 other missions to do.
Wodar did small man just did
Banana
another
bread.
path by the
Ooh.
ambassador. It was like a bug path. Now he's talking during the banana bread.
We
Uh,
requested this drink.
if we can
Uh,
green this and then Smallman takes, this is one of my
oh, oh, we greened it, but Smallman's not taking it, but the tray is going away. Are we requesting again? We requested and then we walked away. I think
He's
Tabsies
trying
wants Smallman
to
to take
get
it.
yeah, he's trying to get Smallman to be offered, but I think Smallman's like being considered up against the wall. I know that seems surprising. This purloin's still pending. Smallman looks really suspicious. Seek kind of looks like he did a purloin and split because the reject I think was on camera, but he got other things. He was low lighting a lot.
This chain is still
Mom,
going.
yeah, I think Pearls was part of the chain. Mom just got highlit for doing a reject behind the pole. This is absolutely brutal purloin. Is anybody gonna take this?
Wodar can't win this, not after a green purloin chain
Okay,
this long.
a DA takes it. The fade's gone. He heat seeks
Oh!
Mom, but Mom is not the spy. Whew. You. So, yeah, Tabs is just trying to frame Smallman. And also completing missions to note. It's kind of just taking the best of both worlds. Smallman doesn't even get the offer, but if you're just gonna get a reject chain like that, and Mom ended up doing the reject behind the pole, it's a real hard spot. Don't
Yeah,
blame
and
Mordor
just
on this
like
one at
that,
all.
Tabsies takes library 2-0 and solidifies the lead. It's now
Yeah,
going to be very, very, very hard for Wodar
yeah.
to win this
He
match.
needs to sweep all the rest of the games.
And we got Pub to start, and then Aquarium. If Mordor can make a bit of a comeback, we'll see some Shark.
Mhm.
Let's get it started. The beginning of the end with Wodar on wheels on Pub in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
And so for missions, we have bug off here. That's generally what you do if you think that your sniper is good enough to catch bugs. Pub doesn't really have as much cover as other venues, so a lot of snipers are able to catch the bugs. And so spies leave it off. And this setup also gives us more of an opportunity to frame people. We have the purloin on, and we can choose to delegate that purloin or pretend to be delegated to by any partygoer who has either done inspects or fingerprints.
We have a slow start here of 44%. Disney is either the most suspicious or the most AI character I've ever seen. He bumped into the ambassador. It was a nice bump, but it could have been a bug. And then he redirects to a briefcase. It's like, I don't think I've seen many spies be that clever, but he's just looking like he's finishing all the missions real quick. If someone's gonna get shot, my bet's on Disney.
And Disney is right next to us here. Maybe Disney
Uh,
looks like he's flirting with us.
Ambassador does take a drink, which means Irish is gonna have the credited print. Our seduction targets had statues. Wodar's still gotten a lot of mission completion. He's in a good spot to finish still, but there's some suspects. He's got choices. If we do a delegate purloin and we're preparing it with the request here, we have people we can choose from.
Yeah, I think it's exactly like I said. This should be a frame game. We're getting
Huh.
highlight for the bar visit.
Yeah, I think that was either for the bar visit or actually potentially just flirts. Assuming that Alice and Wales got really close when they have so much real estate on the bar, they didn't have to be that close.
That's true. And so now if you're Wodar, you basically want to never enter next to Alice Ponytail again, which can throw the sniper off. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like we're going to be able to delegate to Disney. Disney is going in for statues now.
Yeah, the two people that were nearby here, Boots and General, are not the people I was considering as the top frame targets. But Boots is going to be the one who does the purloin. We'll see if it actually takes. We did take a moment to actually trigger the delegate.
Yeah, even if we didn't pick the best person to delegate to, this has been a very, very active pub party, so Tabsies might not be onto it. Are we
SDA in the
lining up the
conversation.
shot? We are, but not on wheels.
So, not Rocker, Irish had a fingerprint from the bar. She was like the only other bar visitor, to the best of my knowledge, in conversation with, in this case, the SDA. Wodar had a similar sort of mission completion, but um, I think this is a shot that he may be assuming that Irish didn't even complete flirt and taking that shot. We'll see. Tabsies is in the chat. He can tell us why he's bad and Wodar is good. But we'll move on. We got Tabsies on Alice and 3 more match points. 1 down, 3 to go for Wodar in 3, 2, 1, playing it. AI control. Okay, no, we're just AI controlling to get a reasonable path. Unlike Wodar, who's been AI controlling to run around and chase his seduction target very rudely.
So we have Bug off again. Like we've been saying, Tabsies is a pretty clever spy. Looked like Tabsies was trying to go for the flirt across the window there, but you have to be really close to the window in order to have enough range for that to take. But from Tabsies, I would look for a frame play. Tabsies generally isn't the type to just go for, a straightforward mission win. I think the least likely thing would just be, getting the inspects and doing seduce contact. I think we might see a frame from Purloin or some covert fingerprint gathering here.
I'm not sure if Wodar is just suspicious of everyone or if he's decided this is a game for a interesting strategy. Everybody in the party is highlit except for Red Dress.
I won't even try to guess why.
Congratulations to Smallman, who is also down to a neutral light. Only 7 highlights to go. And we haven't done anything as a spy.
I mean, this could be some sort of variation of like, on balcony, you low light everyone and then you click them every time they talk and, shoot the first highlight to talk. It's like a variation of that maybe, but you're not low lighting everyone at the start. What happens to Kane when he does a statue? Is he gonna lose the highlight? I don't know. Contact
And
coming
break comes
off.
off. There's one low light, but there's not much to it. Red Dress back to highlight. Us and Smallman are the other people with the real banana bread. Uh, it's gonna come down to things like if Smallman or Red Dress go to statues, it's gonna be real hard not to shoot them. If we go to statues, it's gonna be a big question mark.
Yeah,
Ooh, insta talk from Red Dress. That's not nice.
there was a high likelihood that the SDA was in that middle conversation, which was really full at the time we did the banana bread, but because the SDA was in that conversation with only Red Dress, she looks like the suspect and she gets shot.
Yeah, Wodar did not like the banana bread into insta talk on entry in that conversation.
And that's the final point for Tabsies. Tabsies with the major upset, challenger over gold, and not even with a super close margin, 9-5.
Yeah, Wodar had to win 3 in a row. So 9-5 is pretty good. Tabsies is going to move on the winner's side and is going to, as the lowest seed in the tournament, is going to continue playing the highest seed. Do we have permission to spoil games that have already been casted?
I don't know.
I would err on the side of caution.
Okay, he's going to end up playing the highest seed, which will likely be someone from gold, which would be like Turnout, or someone from silver. Whoever ends up being a higher seed and winning, which is going to be presumably more higher seeds than lower seeds. Wodar is going to go. He actually gets knocked out of gold with this loss. He's now playing, trying to ruin other people's seasons. And anybody who beats Wodar will get auto promoted.
Yeah, maybe this is Water's plan just to get back into silver.
I think Wodar just wants to go back to Oak. Those were the good old days. He was actually an Oak Season 1 boy and rose his way back up to gold. This is going to be his first demotion. We have another set to play, don't we?
We do. We've got a